Welcome YouTube and Arena fellows. Today in the world of Magic, we are playing Bant Fog. This is historic. Alright, enough of that. Let's get down to the business. Enough messing around. Alright, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get notifications, post videos weekly. And so that way you can keep up. You could get notifications that I put a video up if you wanted to. We do sideboard guides at the end of the video. We do in the upcoming weeks, I have some stuff coming up where I'm going to create a Discord and do stuff like viewer showdown or viewer played their deck list or something like that. Tweak it, play their deck list, see how it works, give them advice on their decks and whatnot. So we're gonna be that stuff's gonna be coming up in the next couple of weeks. But right now we have a Discord and we just started it up to try to get it running and whatnot. So but if you want to join the Discord, in the description of the video, you'll have the link to the Discord, you'll have the link to my Twitch, you'll have the link to obviously the YouTube, everything like that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Check out the description. The deck list is also in the link. It has the Stream Decker deck list. You could easily port it over. But let's get into the deck list real quick. So this is it's obviously Bant Fog, and the reason we call it Fog is because we play Haze of Pollen in the main deck, and we have some more in the sideboard. So what does this deck do, and what are we what's the goal of this deck? So the goal of this deck is to just keep surviving with either fogging them, board wiping them, use Teferi, Nissa as our win conditions, either Emblem Teferi or just keep attacking with Nissa. We obviously play Earls since we're in Bant, or blue-green at least. So Tamiyo could bring back Haze and Pollens, play Approach as a win condition. If it goes in the graveyard, we have Tamiyo and Bala to grab it back. But yeah, it's just to stall out, stall out, stall out. Use Teferi hopefully as a win condition, or Nissa. We have ramp cards here with Growth Spiral and Explorer. The reason why we're running it as 2 Growth Spirals, 3 Explorers, because Explorer only costs 1 green, whereas this is green and blue. And since we're in a 3-color deck, obviously green blue isn't hard to do, and it's instant speed. But if I'm going to do that at instant speed, I'm just going to do it at sorcery speed anyways. Might as well just do it, you know. You could easily swap it if you want. You want to do 3 Growth Spirals, 1 or 2 of these, or 4 of these and none of these. You could easily do that. But we're a ramp deck. We're trying to get into the bigger picture, so that's why we're running 5. Originally I had it at 4-2, but I made some cuts to add some ECD because we don't have any answers to like bigger end stuff, planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, whatever. And then on the third effect, since we're running, what is this, 4, 7, 11 planeswalkers, we could bring back our planeswalkers. So we have our Explore package, our Fog package. Narset obviously is very good against the decks right now. Sultai, they can't, draw from Earl. They can't draw from Krasis. Against Blue-White, they can't use Teferi to draw. So it's a very good card. We're running 4 of those. On top of that, we're running a lot of Planeswalkers and spells. So the minus effect should theoretically get us something. Bala is another way. It's a land. It's a way to get something back from the graveyard. Earl, 3 of them. We're not running 4. You could run 4, but 3 should be fine. You're a 60 card deck. You shouldn't have a problem really withdrawing it. Plus, you have Tamiyo's Plus to throw it in the graveyard. So getting Earl shouldn't be a problem in this deck. We're running 2 Rats and 1 Cleansing Nova, and the reason we did this, Cleansing Nova is good against the blue-green engine decks. So you can or Teamer Engine, whatever you want to call it, the Paradox decks. So you can use the second effect. I've used the Destroy Artifacts enchantments quite often, actually. So against Sultai, I destroyed the Shark Typhoon. I played up against the Black Ugin deck, destroyed all their artifacts. So actually this card's very good. So yeah, if you're playing against like a colorless deck, destroy all their artifacts. If you're playing against the engine deck, destroy their artifacts. Worst case scenario, it's a 5 mana destroy all creatures. You also have some destroy, 4 mana destroy creatures. So we did that as a mix of I originally had it as 3 Wrath of Gods, but I felt like I needed something against enchantments and artifacts, even against like 9 lives decks, since they're gaining popularity. You destroy 9 lives and you win the game on the spot. So that's the reason why I have 1 Cleansing Nova here. 3 Tamios because we want to kind of throw Earl in the graveyard. We want to get back some of our Planeswalkers. If Approach goes in the graveyard, we can grab it back. Like I said, cleanse it over. ECD, like I said, we didn't have something against the top curve against people, so we put ECD in there to, you know, to Fairy, Nissa. You can even exile Earl, Ugin. Obviously, it doesn't work against some things, like against goblins. It's just trash. It doesn't do anything because their muxes already hit their effect, so it doesn't do anything. But against most of the other decks, it works. Then we did a 2-2 split. So Nissa, obviously very good. Very, very good. Teferi is very good. So we did a 2-2 split. We have Nissa mainly for our ramp and just attacking them on the board. And then we have Teferi as our draw power bounce to get rid of permanents. Prior to ECD, we had only commit and Teferi to get rid of permanents in the play. So this is, I bounced things so many times with it. I've also drawn like a ton of cards and emblemed here. And then once you emblem, you have a commit or you have explorers, growth spirals, arrows. You have ways to start using his emblem effect to start exiling things. So we have a 2-2 split here. I think 2-2 split is fine. I don't believe there's any room to change that. So I don't think you could do like 3-2, or I mean, if you want to cut it, shave a Tameo, but Tameo is pretty darn good. So I don't know if I want to shave a Tameo. It's a turn earlier too, so. And the passive ability is very good. Like, they can't Thoughtseize you. They can't. I played against a Doom Foretold deck. Doom Foretold, they can't make you sacrifice. So the passive is very good. So we have a 2-2 split there. One commit because we're running 4 Narsets. It's a counter spell on top of the veto. One veto. Veto is kind of good there to catch some like random card that so you can, and it can't be countered. So we have a commit there to bounce this, like I said, bounce a permanent. And since we're running 4 Narsets, the memory side, I've actually done this so many times where I have Narset in play and then in memory, and then they just, you know, they draw 1 card. I draw 7. So 1 commit, and then here's our second win condition, or I should say our 3rd or 4th or 5th win condition, because we have Nissa, Teferi, Uro. So we have the man land. But Approach is a faster win condition because you play this, it goes to the 7th card, and then you draw it again, play it again, you automatically win. Seagate, I feel like since we're running, I believe 20, so it's 26, 27, 28 lands in the deck, Seagate for the most part usually gets played as a spell. So drawing a bunch of cards after you say you play Approach, you just redraw Approach is pretty good. The land base is pretty solid. I could do 2 Fable Passages to kind of help Uro here, but I kind of want the colors so that way I don't get mana screwed here. So I have 1 Fable Passage. I originally had it as 2 Fable Passages, but I cut it down to 1. Sideboard's pretty basic, sort of. So Aether Gust is there against the Goblin decks, the Sultai decks. Negate is there kind of against just control decks, the engine decks, the colorless decks, even against Sultai because they're pretty much all spells except for Uro. Tails End is there kind of to catch something maybe off guard that we, like say a Hydroid Crisis effect. So it's also a counter spell technically, so there's that. We have 3 Root Snares. This is against aggro decks, Goblin decks. Goblin can't deal with Root Snare and Hazel Pollen, so you can just keep cycling and they can't attack you. And if you have like either Planeswalkers in play or you play Approach, there's no way they can beat you. That's how we beat one of our Goblin decks. We just played Hazel Pollen, played a Teferi, Hazel Pollen, played Tameo, return Hazel Pollen, plus Teferi, grabbed the plus for Hazel Pollen, got Hazel Pollen plus Teferi, and we just won with that. Then we used commit or Seagate, and then just exiled their board. So another 3 more in there. It's good against those aggro decks like Muxus, you know, Goblins. This is also probably good against auras, obviously, too. We have 3 Dovin's Vetoes against control. They can't counter this card, so it's a very good card. 1 Sorcerer Spyglass. So I put in Sorcerer Spyglass because against, so obviously Karn, the colors decks or the engine decks, you call out Karn. Obviously, for sure, you want to call Karn out. And if we play against Sultai, sometimes to bring it in, I call Nissa because we can win otherwise. So since we could win other ways too, calling out their win condition is very good. And then we just have to kind of stop Uro. We have Narcissus to stop Uro. So sometimes I bring it in against Sultai and just call out Nissa. Yasharon against the sacrifice decks, obviously, you need this in the sacrifice decks, and then we close it off with another Cleansing Nova. It's another way, board wipe, destroy target artifacts and enchantments. So, but yeah, so this is the Turbo Fog deck. We are currently going to be taking it into the qualifier thing too. So, wish me luck and check out the matches. The matches are next, and then after the matches, we'll have the sideboard guide for the deck. So stay tuned to the rest of the video. Fast forward. Also in the videos, there's I created the timestamps, so you can fast forward or go to the part of the video you want to go to. So I'll categorize as the matches, the intro, the sideboard guide, all that. So check out the video description, has the link to the deck list, it has my Discord. But yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and keep up to date with my videos, I guess. I'll see you guys at the end of the video in the sideboard guide. It's a land. It's a land. Oh, okay. All right, all right, all right. Well, this is, we'll see. We'll see how good that is, if it is good. I think it's just, is it Jund Sacrifice? Oh, it's good, I guess, for that reason. Do I want this in play? Maybe I didn't want that land on top anymore. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, Narset finds Narset. Sure, why not? So he's gonna sack it and then bring it out. I take damage at 17. Narset doesn't die. It goes down to 2. At the moment, it doesn't die. It goes down to 2. So is this... I'm assuming this is Jund. I don't think Rakdos Arcanist runs Phyrexian Tower. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. Ooh, even more spicier stuff. I think we grab Nissa though here. I think that's the better play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I want to grab Grilled Sparrow. I think we grab Nissa. Okay, so now the question comes to, do I want to use commit? Maybe. So if I play this, sure. I'll hold up commit, I guess. See what he does. See if he does anything spicy. If not, we can just commit something. Yep. Go to 15, and then we get hit for 2. We go to 13. So we can still lose because this life loss is not damage. Yeah, so it is Jund. Chandra, yep, that's something we definitely have to stop. That is something we definitely have to stop. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So he can just, let's see, he can sack, block. I don't think he's gonna do that. Let's put it on this. We have 2 in the graveyard. He only has 1 card in his hand. He can't attack Nissa because we have a 3/3 currently. Yep. Down to 12, but now we have Uro, so we could regain some of that life back. We got to get a turn where we can resolve Narset first, and then we could play commit to get rid of his hand. Well, I mean, he doesn't have a hand, but to clear his hand, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so he's drawing that guy. All right, let's counter. So could we do this? I play this. I go blue, green, technically we could, but I think this might just be better to play. Yeah. Like I said, I want to try to get the commit here. Growth Spiral is not a good card. Let's play this. 1 or 2 in the graveyard. Plus it on the plains. These are free attacks. He could block 1 and then sack it to the oven, which is fine. Maybe I shouldn't have played as content, actually. The reason why I shouldn't have played as content here was I should destroy all his artifacts. Enchantments and artifacts. So he takes 3. He's going to draw Chandra. I got her 11. But I don't know how much Chandra's going to do here, to be honest. Because if he's not going to have enough mana to do much beyond of whatever he does here. So, like, he's paying 4. And then he's only going to have 1, 2, 3 mana, I guess?
Yep, you're going down.
And Chandra only goes to the face now. It no longer goes to PlanesWalkers. Graveyard, don't need that. There's Tamio. So we needed a land, but there's Tamio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So we could technically play this, use the effect, return this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then return that plus this 2, 3, 4. But then we tap out for that. I don't think that's worth it. I don't want to give him a card either. Alright, we're just going to use the effect then. There's no point of giving him free cards. Another Hazel Pollen, huh? Alright, let's play this then. Gain some life back. In the process. Narset, we didn't draw a land? Okay. I think we're going to target this, to be honest. So you could block all 3. Just sack 1. So we're going to send everything at Chandra. Force him to block. Clear his board. I mean, he could just double block and it takes 3, I guess. But still better than not doing anything to it. Okay, there we go. Yep. So, sure. How can I? Oh, because I have blue open. Okay. Then you can return it back. All right. So Chandra takes 0 damage. Yep. Go to 10. I could draw a forest or breeding pool or something on those lines. I can use Nova and just get rid of the oven. I think that would be worth it because then he can no longer do this block, bring back, block, bring back. I mean, right now he can only block and bring back 1 card, but he has Chandra, so let's see what happens. Ooh, it's another land. That's unfortunate, opponent. Sorry. I'm sorry. Don't think I could do that. 1, 2, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this. Is it worth it? So blocks, takes 3, 6. No, it dies regardless. So dead regardless. So there's no point of creating a token here because I'm gonna have 4 attackers now. And there's that. We're gonna cycle 1. there's 6 cards. Graveyard, transform. Oh, now we can do it without losing our Esconta. All right, let's do Cleansing Nova, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. No, I don't know if I care for that, to be honest. I'd rather do this. 1, 2. Nope, don't want to remove that. 2, 3, 4. What happened? Why is my graveyard all messed up? There's more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like, what's going on?
This was overwhelming.
That's a bug. All right. Submit, tapped.
Behold, nature's true.
We untap the Hollow Fountain because then we can also do, so even if you block Chandra dies, we can then use Esconta here. And we have, oh, it's about to not play my land. We have lethal on board next turn, right? He goes to 19, he goes to 20. No, not lethal yet. Close. We get to Emblem Nissa, which is going to be pretty amazing. He could just top deck a, what is it, Corvold? I don't think they main deck Corvold anymore. Okay. We won game 1. Alright, so Jund Sacrifice. Bring in the Yasharns. Those are clearly. Bring in Nova, yes. Spyglass, yes. I don't think I bring in Negate against this matchup. I could, but I don't think it's worth it. Root Snares, no, not the same thing. He does damage otherwise, other ways. So probably not good. I'm gonna cut the veto. Maybe cut one Haze of Pollen here. Maybe cut a Growth Spiral. Actually, cut both Growth Spirals. Maybe Explorer is just a little better because it's green and colorless versus green blue. Yeah, let's try that. I could cut a Narset actually too. Maybe I should have cut the Narset and brought in. Maybe brought in the tail. No, yeah, the tails then could stop his triggers though. So maybe. Or just leave the Growth Spiral in. All right, this seems more than reasonable. We'll keep. I guess we play this turn 1, just so we have our tap land. Play this turn 2, play Esconta, turn 3, Uro. We draw land. Here goes Yasharn. Obviously, the downfall with Yasharn is he plays Chandra, so Chandra could kill it, but it prevents him from sacrificing, so that's the purpose of it. Goose, sure. Sorcerer Spyglass, that's a good draw. Now we're probably doing Sorcerer Spyglass instead. Goose it is. Goosing it up. Goose the goose. We call Goose if we want. Alright, so pay 2. Let's see what he has in his hand first. Yep, there's the Chandra. Chandra Torture Defiance. Let's just strand that card in his hand. Because he could have casted it. This would create him 2 red here, and then here's the other 2. But let's just strand it out of his hand. Alright, so pay 2, Uro, put this in, and then put this in. He's looking for a Braid. A braid would be sick. Actually, no, it wouldn't matter. No, we could have called this out actually. That was bad on my part. That was actually very bad on my part. Can't activate their abilities, and this is an activation. Alright, that was a misstep. Because he doesn't have double red anyways. So if we would have targeted this card, well, we got lucky and drew out the god, I guess. But if we would have targeted this, he couldn't even pay the double red. So Chandra just doesn't do anything anyways. But, I mean, either way, I guess we're fine. If he tries to cast Chandra, I guess then that means he does have a braid in his deck. Yep, so that means he has a braid in his deck. Okay. So opponent plays a braid. So we're gonna play this because we need the lands anyways. So otherwise we're gonna miss our land drop. It doesn't really matter. It's funny we still have Hazel Pollen, huh? Now he has no red. He's black green. Even though it's on it, let's just try to kill it. No point in keeping it in play in case he could remove it, you know? Always better to get rid of it just in case. Sorcerer's Spyglass is actually a really good card in Historic, I would say. Playing against colorless decks, you call out Karn. If you're playing, you know, the engine deck, you call out Karn. You're playing, there's another one, so that's good. Tap these. Playing against the engine deck, call out Karn, call out Mario, call out, you know, whatever. If you're playing against Sultai, you could call out Nissa. If you're playing against, the only thing I guess it doesn't work against is goblins because there's nothing to call out. Or I guess you could call out Krenko with goblins. All right. Well, we just won again. Alrighty then. All right. Dog lobster, huh? Dog lobster. We're on the play. Sure. Sure. Temple, because we could play Glacial into Growth Spiral without taking damage. If we did Hollow Fountain, then we have to shock this. So let's do Temple, Glacial. Looks like we're playing against blue-white control then, huh? Blue-white control. Interesting. Let's hope he doesn't have Censor Dovin's Veto. But darn, he probably does. Alright, well if he has Censor, we can play around it. If he has Veto or Tail's End, then, well, okay, so he has a Censor. Hazel Pollen doesn't really do anything here, I guess. But as a cycle and the approach is way too far away. Alright. Maybe he's gonna probably cycle his Censor or something now. Oh, he's gonna hold on to it. Okay. Let's see what we get. We don't have any main deck counter spells. We missed. We have one main deck counter spell, I guess. All right, let's play Uro. He's gonna have to play first, so what the heck does he have? Oh, it's like, why is he highlighting it? He could also have a Shark Typhoon cycle here. Thinking that might be it, actually. Yep, there it is. So the question comes down to, do we care for Narset enough to let him kill it? I don't think we care. 6, 7. But I mean, he's going after it for a reason. Obviously, the deck draws cards, so sure. I'm just gonna cycle this. Throw more cards in the graveyard for Uro to come out later. Cleansing Nova is not a good one to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go to get absorbed. Wish we would drew another land and, you know, wow, he, interesting. What if he has an, okay, so if he has another cycle, what happens here? What happens if he has another cycle? He gets a cycle for 2, make it 3, so 3 power, so if I plus, sure. All right, what are we calling here? What do we have the most of? Either it's Narset, which is 3 left in the deck. We have 3 Earls, but we don't want to call Earl. We just want to dump it. We could also call, I say keep it so he doesn't draw cards. Yeah, I mean, we could have done that, but I'm gonna call it Narset. There it is. I think now I'm gonna play this as my land, actually. Since this resolved, we're gonna play this as our land. Yeah, we could have killed it. I mean, we could have. Oh, he has cast out. That's fine. We have. We could actually. This is actually does something, which is kind of hilarious. 1, 2, 3. Which is kind of hilarious. All right, let's try casting another Narset here. We're not gonna Cleansing Nova because it's gonna get countered. So what we're gonna do here is okay. Guess we. So we could hit it for 2. So I should get Haze of Pollen here. No, let me explore. What's in the grave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, let's go ahead and make him use a counterspell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got to be careful what we remove because we do play a commit in the deck. He's gonna counter this. Yeah, so we could have protected it, but we play enough. There's a sensor he finally got to use. But that means he can't kill Narset then unless he has another Shark Typhoon. No, even if he has another Shark, he can't kill it. Oh, okay, so the reason why we didn't do Cleansing Nova is we're trying to bait a counter spell, so then we could play Cleansing Nova. So since we didn't have enough mana to play, say, this and this, or this and this, we did it so we played Narset first, and then hopefully he counters, and then we could do Cleansing Nova. There's Tefo boy. But he doesn't get to draw, so it just upticks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we're gonna bait the counter spell and hopefully on Tamio here. Let's grab the forest. We're gonna hopefully bait the counter spell here on Tamio. Then we could cast Nissa. There it is. Okay, what are we targeting here though? I guess just the blue land, right? We're not gonna mine this because then he could kill it. And then that allows him to draw cards with Fairy. So we're gonna leave Narset at 2. Yep, so you draw nothing. And we almost have enough to escape this guy again. He has to somehow kill Nissa. That's fine. He could create the token with Castle, I guess, and then untap. Still, I would do that. Since he's untapping 2 lands, he should use the effect of Castle and create a token at least. But then if he does the Castle again to block my two lands to prevent Teferi from oh wow, he that was interesting. Okay. Alright, let's see if he counters Esconta then. Actually, I'm gonna use Explore first. There's Approach. 2, so 2, 4, 5, 6, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Alright, let's see if he'll counter Approach. If he doesn't counter Approach, then he's constantly has to hold up Counterspell. Okay. Is there a random like Settle the Wreckage in his deck that I don't know of? One, two, three, four, five. That's weird that it tapped all of that. Okay.
The land shall conquer you.
I mean, even if he has a cycle, it kills it, so let's alright. I guess you counter this one then. No. Wow. Cast out? Guess he has cast out maybe? Okay, create a token, that's fine. There's 5 cards in there. If he kills anything, it goes 6 and this Kanta flips at 7. Sure. Okay, that's the 6th card, so Escanta is looking like it might be flipping here. Okay, so Escanta is flipping, graveyard. Transform. That's weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 cards in there, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep Narset in there? Sure.
I shall miss
My
your company.
research has been compromised.
Interesting. My opponent is throwing a wrench at me, so to speak. So to speak, he's throwing a wrench at me, huh? Well, we're gonna just keep getting aggressive here. I'm sure he has a Wrath of God in his hand. Easily probably has Wrath of God. So he's just like letting me line up my lands to all die. But I think, and then this dies too. That's fine, but if he does that 1, 2, 3, 4, then he only has 4 open mana, so he's gonna have to constantly keep holding counter magic. So he's gonna play Wrath of God, I bet, or he's gonna attack Nissa so it doesn't emblem. Okay, so he has Wrath of God because he's attacking with a token.
Do not test me.
Okay. Wrath of God. There it is. Alright, let's try this first. Ooh. Well. Yeah, we'll take the approach because he has to counter it or he loses the game. The first one resolved. Shark. Okay. So you have a Dovin's Veto?
Right on. You know what? I'm not done.
Do you really have a Dovin's Veto, huh, opponent? Okay. I mean, I'm going for it, you know? Like, there's no reason why I wouldn't go for that. Okay. So Haze of Pollens are gone. Take that out there. Wrath of God is no, thank you. Negates are good. Surge, Tails in, Explores fine. Veto, Growth Spiral, Narset, or I'll commit. So he's gonna bring in, or he already has, Graph Digger's Cage. So I think I want the Cleansing Nova because it also hits Cast Out. So I think I want that. Approach is kind of interesting in the fact that it's most likely going to get countered. So a 7 mana spell is probably not going to be good against them. And I just try to beat them down with Nutrition instead. I could keep it in as a, and maybe cut one Growth Spiral instead. Yeah, it's another win condition. I'm just going to keep it in. There's no reason to take a win condition out. If he ever taps out, then I could just, play it, and then he's kind of stuck. Okay, this is yeah, we'll keep. We have a Growth Spiral, Negates, and Vetoes. I mean, we need to draw more lands, but we have spells here. Okay, that was a good draw. Do some more lands. That's not a land. That's not a land either. 2, 4. We might have just. And that's how you lose against control, is when you can't. Oh man. All right. I don't think there's anything you can do on turn 4 anyways. This allows us to hold up negate or veto as well. That's kind of unfortunate though. I don't know what I need with that yet. Okay, well now we can go grab green. Play this. Don't need another Tameo. Next turn, maybe I should supposed to grab actually blue since I have all blue spells. Next turn we could do this, and then hold a veto maybe? Alright, let's see what happens. If he counters this, we're not fighting it. Because we have a Tameo to possibly return it back. Where we're fighting is probably just like berries. We got him to use a counter spell as well. We got him to not be able to cycle a Shark Typhoon, animate, use his man land there. 2, 4, 6. And like I said, we have Tameo anyways. We'll stop that one though. He can't counter our veto. See, we bait him into doing that, and then we do this. Now we can negate whatever he plays. But the bad part about it is he gets to resolve a Teferi then. And is that worth it? So we're gonna negate this Mystical Dispute and just hope he doesn't have Teferi. There's 4 in the deck, obviously, so not like it's definitely a possibility, but it's definitely a possibility. We could dodge Teferi here. I think we're in good position. No, there it is. There's the big guy. All right, there's the big guy.
Let's skip to the good part.
Well, we get to play Narset and then prevent him from drawing any more cards, I guess. Alright, let's see what we hit here first. Ooh, I guess we'll grab our own Teferi too then. Let's plus... What are we calling here? Let me see my graveyard. Guess we could call Narset. There's 3 more in the deck. I swear if I call out Narset and I hit Nissa, I'm going to be mad. Because Nissa is what I really want. Because that puts pressure on Teferi. Okay, so we didn't hit anything relevant. That's good. I don't ever want to call Uro because I'd rather just get it in the graveyard anyways. Then we can escape it next turn. We have enough cards. He can't draw off Teferi because Narset's in play. And we have Talzan and Veto or double Veto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, we have to stop that though. Can't let that one resolve because then it stops this completely. It stops our Tameo. That's no bueno. Grafdigger's Cage. Well, I think that's his 2 Grafdigger's Cage. So I guess we get to bring Uro out here then. Put some pressure. I wonder what he's gonna do. I'm actually unsure. Is he gonna bounce? I mean, I think he's gonna bounce. Because the next turn, if he's gonna bounce, he has to bounce Narset. Because the next turn he gets to draw off Teferi. Bouncing Tameo doesn't do anything. But then bouncing Narset also doesn't do anything because then I could plus on Tameo and call out Narset. So he's kind of in a bind. Okay. So you could take both of them now. But now he's tapped out.
I must train harder.
Oh, he could plus. Okay.
Keep up the pace.
And then he drew a land. Sure. Ooh, spicy. Spicy meatball. Oh, spicy, spicy. Cast that was kind of sucky. So I can use the minus, go grab my veto, play Teferi, bounces Teferi, and hope he doesn't have another Teferi in his hand. Okay. Oh, but that doesn't also work, right? Because if he has veto, then it just completely stops that. What are the chances he has veto? Because veto completely will stop this, and even if I have veto, it won't matter. So maybe, all right. So maybe we're just gonna do this instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. You can absorb this, I guess. I wonder if he had veto. Oh no! No, I drew Narset, but I don't have the mana. Alright. We're gonna plus obviously. Guess I'm gonna go for Nissa now. Ooh, there was another veto right off the top, huh? Nice. What do you have? Alright. 1, 2, 3. We need a land. I might have to minus Tameo for a land. The reason why I want to do that is so I can play Narset, he counters it, then play Teferi and hope he doesn't have a second counter. But I can't do that without another land, you know? If I don't hit another land, I can't do that. Dude, all 4 Dovin's vetoes are in the graveyard. Wow. Alright. That was a pretty good draw, I guess. Cycle, sure. I could have told them that. That's hilarious. Okay, I guess we'll try to tell Zen that. Since he minus, now he has to get rid of Uro, otherwise, so he has to counter this, because if he doesn't, then Uro is going to kill the Teferi. Because now I could attack the Teferi. I mean, he could play the castle. He could block with the castle, but then he taps out, and then I can play like Narset or this. Ooh, there we go. We'll shock it, and there's Nissa. Turn late, but there's Nissa. If we would have had Nissa, we would have been able to kill his Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shark Typhoon cycle for 1. Okay. That technically works. See, if he counters this, then we play Teferi, I guess. We don't care if he counters this because we have Cleansing Nova to grab our Teferi back, or our Narset back. We'll grab Tamiyo easily. Easily grab Tamiyo. Okay. There is his counter spell. Alright, so we're gonna minus. We're gonna grab Veto. He can't draw anything because the Narset. So he's gonna have to bounce Uro back, and then he loses his. Can't draw. Oops. Can't draw, opponent. He just used 2 mana. He used 2 mana and lost the card. He's in dire need, and that's why he did it. He's in dire need. Alright, there we go. We just 2-0'd blue-white control. That was pretty easy. Let's see who we're playing next. Archon? Okay. On the play. I mean, we have to keep because we have 2 lands, Growth Spiral, and hope for the best. If we mull, we might just get a worse hand. Okay, here's Sultai, I guess. Land? Wow. Okay, we still could hit a land. We hit a land, but it's tapped. That sucked. Why would I play this card? Really, deck? Why would you give me that option to play the card? Man, we could have had such amazingness if we would have hit our land. We might just lose because we're going to miss lands, huh? That's late. That would have been nice last turn. What am I calling, though? That's the question. I can't believe I have 3 Tamiyos in my hand. I just noticed it. Wow. I just noticed we have 3 Tamiyos. He doesn't have double green, so hopefully he doesn't have green in his hand, so he can play Nissa. So we're gonna do this. What am I calling here? I guess Narset? The most likely card to be hit? I could have called Haze of Pollen, I guess. There's all our lands. There's his second green, it looks like. That's his next green land. I don't think they play anything in the main deck to get rid of Tamiyo. He doesn't have Nissa, so that's good for us. I'm gonna have to minus and grab a land here. Dang, I wish I would have played Narset now, but whatever. There's his second green. So I have to play. I'm gonna play Narset, and then use Tamiyo to grab a land back so we can hold up Haze of Pollen and play Narset. What the heck? Oh, so he has Pulse. Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. 'Cause we need lands, and I'm pretty sure he probably has Nissa in his hand then, because if he would have played Nissa's last turn, he couldn't kill Tamiyo. We needed land here, and we didn't draw. Oh, man. Land 5 would have been amazing. We would have played Narset and Haze. Or hold up Haze, I should say. Now, if we go and use Tamiyo minus to grab a land, then Tamiyo dies to Nissa. That's unfortunate. That's how we lose, I guess. Playing Narset doesn't do anything because we don't have enough mana anyways to do anything with it. So,
Like the phases of the moon.
alright.
Life
Guess we're grabbing land here. Hinterland. Yep, Hinterland gives us more green and blue.
is never forgotten.
Nice knowing you, Tamio. Bye. Bye, Tamio.
I have practiced
It was
against
nice knowing you. Well, he didn't play Nissa, so interesting. Okay. Didn't play Nissa. Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize doesn't do anything either here because we're protected with Tamio. Ooh, Earl number 3. Alright, we're gonna call Nissa. Hope we hit.
Seek
Hope we hit so we can take out his Okay, we didn't hit. Is it better to do Earl here though? Maybe actually. Yeah, wait. No. We can't do Earl because he has this idiot. Never mind. Never mind. Almost punted there. We're gonna play Narset.
the past, present, and home your
Okay, I guess we grab that. That Narset's gonna be a pain in the butt. We have a haze to stop his shark from killing something. Extinction doesn't do anything. That's good. That was a dead draw for him. Hard cast. Well, we have Nova to kill that. Sure. If we could hit lands, though, obviously, that's fine. There we go. Let's see if we can get Nissa again. Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll have 2. Say 4, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. It should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. Untap. No, it won't be enough. We're shy. Alright, let's see what we hit. Okay. All lands. Guess we'll call Nissa still.
I think you will find
We called
myself-
it Fairy. Oh! The Fairy, you elude me! Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Teferi, you eluded me here! You little punk! We had you. We had you. That's hilarious. You don't get to draw. Oops, opponent. Is he just trying to fill the graveyard? But he has enough, so that's kind of weird. Yeah, Narset's such a beast. It's hard to deal with a Narset. We have commit, so we're just gonna commit him now. Oh, we don't get to draw either. Never mind. So we have to get rid of Narset, and then we have commit. Never mind. Scratch that idea. You don't get to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scratch that idea. Okay. And we're Thoughtseize proofed here too with the Tamio. So that's good. And this was a hand that we skipped or we missed on land. So that's telling a lot right there. We're just gonna bounce this idiot.
The storied past holds our
So, yep. Because this doesn't do anything. His extinction is not doing anything. He obviously doesn't have anything relevant in his hand to be able to stop my planeswalkers. If he draws the Nissa, we have a fog to prevent the damage. So we're not really in dire need of anything at the moment. We have 3 planeswalkers in play. That's pretty good. We're just missing Nissa for the 4 planeswalker Crap, Maelstrom Pulse. Okay. Doesn't it kill your own Narset too? Which is like, yeah,
Still have much to learn.
whoops. Kills your own Narset, opponent. 2, 4, 5. Hydrocrasis. Well, now we probably just win the game, right? Because of commit. Oh, we don't have our Narset anymore. Never mind. Oh, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Move quickly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than me.
Why won't each player? Why won't it let me cast this? Cast this spell only from your graveyard. That's dumb. Okay. Okay. Nissa.
Is somewhere.
Keep an open mind.
Well, there you are. Is it worth casting this? I don't think so, right? We do it. We'll get to untap 2 lands, technically 3 lands, so we'll have 4 access to 4 mana. I don't think that's worth it. If I do this, that's also not worth it. So I guess I could do this as free, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is free. So tap this, untap this. He tries to attack. We'll haze it. Prevent all combat damage here. And he has 2 unknowns that we, you know. And then whatever he plays, we could commit that. Well, maybe. But then on the backside is where we play, yeah, passive damage. And then we have 3 planeswalkers, 4 planeswalkers in play. I think we win from there. Alright, you could take that back. Because we have an Narset in our hand. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might have a Tail's End here. Sure, that's fine. We actually don't care if that got countered. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually did care if that got countered. All right. Okay, never mind. We didn't have enough mana apparently. All right. Let's draw a card, I guess, and see if we hit our land.
Hurry.
We hit our land, but it was a tap source. That's kind of
Meditate.
sucky.
Prepare.
Okay.
To the library.
Have I milled the veto yet? Oh, I did. Damn it. Okay. How many Narsets? 1, 2. All right. Guess we're gonna wait. How many Haze of Pollens? 1, 2, 3. Ugh, we can't even call that. All right. Guess we're just calling Nissa. Oh, what a hit! Haze of Pollen. You suck. You suck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a free cast. Okay. I'm gonna keep that in my hand. All right, what do we have untapped here? We have blue, blue, green. So let's just untap these. And either we could scry or make a 1/1. Takes 4, and then he draws Krasis. Nope, you did it again. You did it again. What are you doing? Stop it, opponent. Stop it. Narset's there. Narset is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. That's not good enough. Okay, now we get to play this. Sure.
Such violence is upsetting.
Sure. Let's make the token here so we can block this guy. Because we're going to use memory here. I mean, he could have, you know, if he had eliminate, he would eliminate an Narset. So he doesn't have eliminate. Maybe it's like fatal push or something. I'm wondering if I play this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This would be 12. All right, let's do this first. Yeah, it kind of negates itself, but what cards don't we need? We don't want Wrath of God. Don't want Cleansing Nova, that's 2. We don't want Wrath of God, that's 3. We probably don't want any more Explorers, 4. Maybe Fable Passage, 5? Yeah, because I think we have all the basics. Maybe 1 Plains is left in the deck. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see what happens. So you draw 1, I draw 1,000,000. Pay 2. Draw a card.
No time for a break.
Guess we call Nissa here.
Let me aid your research.
There she is. She made her grand entrance. No attacks. She made her grand entrance. We could discard your Uro. We have our own Uro in our hand. Aether Ghost. Decline. We don't care for that. I would have Aether Gusted Tamio, but that's just me. I have a token, I could block this guy. Zolls. And that's why we created the token. Past the blockers. Sure. Alright, he finally gave up. Couldn't face down 3 planeswalkers. Alright, so negates, tails ends, vetoes. Spyglass is obviously good here, but he does play a pulse. Plays pulses or pulse or whatever you want to call it. So that's the only bad part here is he has 2 of them. And I believe they only max out at 2. Otherwise, I Spyglass the Nissa, and I don't really care if my Nissa is not there, you know? Let's see, is there anything else maybe? All right, so what are we taking out here? So we're taking out the Wrath of Gods right off the bat. Cut them. Cleansing Nova is bad. Hazel Pollens are technically bad here. I want to bring this in just to call out Nissa. I mean, like I said, if our Nissa is a dead card, it's a dead card. It's fine. It's tough. Tough to say. I'm going to bring it in. I have other planeswalkers to win with. If it comes down to it where I call Nissa and I have Nissa in my hand, well, that's unfortunate. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh my gosh, my opponent did not even want to play this match anymore. He did not want to continue this game. Wow. Okay, well, there we go. We just beat Sultai. That was pretty easy. I mean, we had complete control that whole game. Like, there was nothing he could do at any point in the game. All right, so we're on the qualifier. Here we go. Round 1. Captain Relifio. No, we're not on the play. Hey, the play draw actually matters quite a bit. So 43, 2 and 2. So looks like we're probably playing against auras. So Wrath of God's pretty good. Dovin's Veto kind of slows them down a little bit. This kind of sucks, but all right, we'll keep. We could also be playing against the Rakdos. Okay, never mind. We're playing against Rakdos. So this hand is not very good against that deck. Especially if they get Thoughtseize into an Arcanist. That's Cruxa. So what do I discard here? I guess maybe Approach since it's so far away. Well, I guess we're shocking this so we could Growth Spiral. Or Dovin's Veto, I guess. So the Rakdos or the Arcanist deck, I guess. Yep, we're definitely going to stop that. Don't want him peeking out our hand. Hopefully he doesn't have Arcanist, because if he has Arcanist, we're in trouble. He has another Cruxa. He has another Cruxa. Okay, so I guess we're discarding Haze of Pollen here. And he has a Village Rites. Guy, yes. Nicely done, opponent. Nicely done, opponent. Okay. And he already has 3 cards in the graveyard. So what do I discard here? I'm thinking Wrath the God, but I also Haze of Pollen. But Haze of Pollen can cycle. But my next turn is probably just going to be Growth Spiral anyways. Right off the bat. Alright. And we don't really have much against this deck, so that's kind of unfortunate. And we haven't drawn our Narsets or Tamios yet. Tamio is very good against them. Narset prevents this from drawing a bunch of cards. Stitcher Supplier, sure. And we don't have a Cage in the sideboard, which is also good against this guy's deck. It's not looking good for us, especially this game 1. That's not good. All right, I guess we're casting a Krasis for as a 2/2 then here. Just to draw a card. There's Narset. So what do we need? I mean, a land would be nice. So that way we could untap land so we could play Teferi. And then we could protect it technically with Haze of Pollen. If he plays Loras here, we have Wrath the God for that. But then he gets to play Loras Cruxa, which is kind of annoying. Thoughtseize Cruxa would be annoying here too. And then he has Castle, so he's just going to be drawing a bunch of cards. There's Cruxa. There's our land. I guess I have to Wrath the God though. But then it just fills his graveyard back up. This is 1. This mill is 3, right? So 4, and then that's 5. It could just come back right out. So I'm wondering if I just bounce the Cruxa here. But then if I bounce the Cruxa, it goes back to the discard pile. Because he could just attack Teferi. If I block, then it mills. We're not in nowhere in a good position. We need what's it called against him here? The Tamio. All right, we're just gonna bounce you, I guess. Would have been nice if he attacked last turn, so that we could have blocked it, and then this wouldn't happen here, I guess. But now we have to protect Teferi with Krasis. Hopefully, we can hit Tamio off the top. If we could play Tamio, we could protect our hand then. But our hand just getting picked apart. Yep. All right, Cruxa gets remilled. So he would have drew. Actually, I don't really know. So you could bring Cruxa back out. Yep. I'm hoping he does Laura's Cruxa. I could discard Narset and then play, I guess, Wrath the God, but that's also kind of bad because then it gets to come back out naturally. Oh, so he didn't have the 5 until Fable Passage, I see. So I have to give up Narset here. Well, that's a good draw. If I could, I guess, hit a land. Okay. That's... Dang, if we would have hit a land there. If we would have hit a land there. I feel like I'd throw Ascanta in this out then. And because I'm going to draw a card off it anyway, so I could discard that too. Cruxa, but putting this out is going to be huge because it kind of regroups our draw. He has nothing in the graveyard. Yeah, we're going to do that. And we're kind of hoping he plays out Loras. No, okay, we're going to keep that in our hand, obviously. We had a veto here, would have been nice. Just to, but we already used it to stop his Thoughtseize. Because I wanted to protect the Planeswalker. Yep. So what does he have? Because there was a pause there, so I'm assuming he has what is it called? Village Rights? Okay. That's interesting. Graveyard. Transform. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So let's draw a card first. Before we do anything else, let's draw a card. So could I Rat the God and wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cannot Rat the God and bring. Okay. Well, we have to Rat the God. And then we get to untap his content and use the effect to draw cards. Or we could return Krasis back here. I think untapping his content is just better. Yeah, so he has Village Rights. Yep, we knew that. I would have personally just drew with Castle, honestly. And just save Village Rights. Because he had the mana up, so might as well just draw and take, 2 damage versus, I guess, drawing 2. I don't know. That's my opinion. It would have kept another card in his hand as well. Stitcher Supplier, so it gets Cruxa back. Oh, that's a way to kill Planeswalkers and it's gone. We might be losing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I feel like he has a couple of claims in his hand, maybe a 1 or 2 in his hand, I bet. So he's gonna bring Cruxa back. I'm gonna in response activate this because this is a very good card, especially since I could use this, return Wrath of God, and play Wrath of God. Even if the sky's falling down. So there's 1 in there. All right, we'll grab Nissa. So you could have used, if you wanted to, Village Rights here on this. Okay, we're definitely doing that now. Make sure I have enough white. White. Okay. Wrath of God. See. You are my only. You only. I'm gonna keep that in my hand to discard it, I guess. No reason to. I mean, I don't really care for that either. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I'd rather just do Uro Escanta on the same turn, actually. Yeah, let's do that. We're just whittling him back down. He discarded our hand massively, and we're just little by little whittling him back down. Gains haste. Does he have enough though? 1, 2, 3, 4. He does. He can give it haste and kill my Teferi. That sucks. All right, well, we lose our Teferi. That's unfortunate. Let's hope we can get something good off the top then. Worst case scenario, like I said, we have Uro, Escanta up. Yep. So we're gonna take 3 from the damage. Teferi's dead. Yep. Narset. All right, so since we play stuff, we gotta make sure we exile right card. So we don't want that anymore, I guess. 1. I don't think we want that. 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. Because we play, what is it? Commit. So we technically could put our graveyard back into the deck. Do I want to put this in play? I don't think so. I'd rather discard it. Now the question comes down to, do I want to play Narset? I think I'd rather just use this. It does the exact same effect. But this prevents him from drawing cards. So it comes down to prevent him from drawing cards or use Escanta. How many rights has he used? 1, 2. He's only used 2 rights. So he's not really drawing that many cards anyways. He has Castle. All right, we'll play this out, I guess. Grab the other Narset. This has Summoning Sickness, so if he claims it, he doesn't get to attack. He used 2 rights already. So we're just gonna chump block here. Because we could bring our Uro back. He can't bring his Cruxa back at the moment. We have 10 in the graveyard. It's the battle of Uro versus Cruxa. And then Narset kind of stops his castle. All right, well, there's another Cruxa. Guess we lose that one too. Well, he only has one card in his hand, so that's good for us. After destroying our hand as much as he did. We could just cycle this, sure. Let's bring this back out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to keep Wrath of God in there because I played Tamio. Maybe I take the Nissa here. But Nissa's also kind of a fast win condition. All right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's draw a card. Speaking of, there's Tamio. Now where our hand's protected, he can't draw cards. I think I'm just gonna go grab it to Teferi here. I could go grab Krasis, but Teferi is a powerhouse in its own. So Tamio's protecting our hand. Narset's preventing him from drawing a bunch of cards. We have Earl. Okay, nice. All right, so Rakdos Arcanist. All right, we don't have much against this deck, unfortunately. So, the heck. Okay, so just checking to see what they play sideboard wise for the most part. Just making sure 100% to see how they deal with stuff. So they got like Duress coming in, Soul Guide Lanterns coming in. All right, so Duresses and Soul Guide Lanterns, huh? They don't run enough red cards. Oh my gosh, it wouldn't let me cut. They don't run enough red cards that I think it'd be worth it to add the Gust in, so I'm not going to do that. Yasharn doesn't. I mean, it stops their draw, I guess. It's a way. So Cleansing Nova, I think it's fine here. I think I'm going to take out the Hazes here. ECD just seems very bad here. Bring in Yasharns. I guess I can. All right, we'll try that. Oh. All right. We'll give that a try. Don't really have much against this deck, really. I'm not really expecting too much of this deck on the ladder, but you know. All right. Well, we have our lands. All right. We have our lands. We have a Narset, Wrath God, Yasharn. So that will help us, I guess, if we can get to that part. Maybe I should be playing that in the sideboard. I should probably be playing some Baffling Ends in the sideboard. Yeah, I probably definitely should be doing that. Well, there goes our Wrath, or I think there goes our Narset. If I was him, I would take Wrath of God. Especially if he can't deal with Yasharn. Because if I cast Yasharn, then I can Wrath the God and he can't sack Beaumont Courier. But yeah, I think maybe some baffling ends actually. So he's just going to be able to refill his hand. Well, there's another Narset anyways, I guess. Technically we need this land, but we don't. Because we have Yasharn to grab us 2 lands as long as it stays in our hand. That we don't need it. What does my opponent have? So you could return something back from the graveyard? Okay. This is getting dangerous. This is getting dangerous. All right. So if I don't activate it, he can't kill Cruxa, but what if he has a claim or something, you know? So we're just gonna go ahead and do it, and yeah, we'll grab Tameo here. I doubt he's gonna tap out next turn, because if he does, then he just gets completely destroyed in a sense because he can't sack Beaumont Courier. Because I have Wrath the God. Obviously, if he has a Thoughtseize or whatever, then he has Thoughtseize. He gets to refill for 4 cards. Beaumont Courier is a pain in the ass. If he didn't have that, we would have been in probably insane position right now. Because just the fact that it could refill his hand is bad for us. Because he gets to refill for 4 here. So that's very bad for us. And he knows like our whole hand pretty much, except for this. So like he's gonna just play around stuff here. He missed his land drop. Let's see if he's gonna sack Beaumont Courier here. Guess not. All right. Let's see if he can get rid of Yasharn. Hopefully he can't get rid of Yasharn. If he can't get rid of Yasharn, then we're just gonna Wrath the God. We're gonna play this, play Growth Spiral, play this, Wrath the God. He has something. I guess he has Claim. That's he has Claim. That's so bad. Because he could bring back Arcanist, give it haste, and then attack. Use the rest, get rid of our Wrath of God. And then Beaumont Courier just refills the hand. Add Loris back to your hand, please. Add Loris back to your hand. Or add Loris to your hand. Oh, there it is. Yep. Now he's going to give a haste, attack, and duress. And we had to play Yasharn here because, like, yep, free duress. But we're just gonna block Beaumont Courier. 3, 4, 5, 6. We take 6 here. Oh my gosh, if he picks wrong, he's gonna pick Wrath the God, obviously. Yep. Alright, well, we're blocking this. 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like we have to do that, right? So let's see. If we take 6, we go down to 5, right? Then he can cast. I'm wondering how I come back if I don't kill Arcanist here. So if I take 6, then this can attack again, and he can use this, kill a token, kill a Planeswalker. I guess I have to block this. That's not what we're looking for at all. If we could survive next turn, because this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then we can use Tameo minus grab Wrath of God. But I don't know if we're going to survive. I'm not sure we're going to survive. I don't know what's in his hand, obviously, but that doesn't do it. Okay, so far we're good. Because we could use Tameo to bring Wrath of God back. Because we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We lose the forest, that's fine. As long as we don't lose Tameo or lose the game here, I think we're fine. Or, I mean, actually, we can't lose Yasharn. What am I saying? If we lose Yasharn, we're dead in the waters. So, Tameo and Yasharn, if they don't disappear, we're fine. Okay, you didn't attack us. Okay. Make sure there's going to be... Oh, okay, hold on. 2, 3, 4. Oh, it needs blue. And then our hand is protected as well. Yep, he doesn't get to sacrifice. We're at 7. We can protect our hand. We have Nissa as a win condition. We even drew a Teferi here. So we're looking pretty good. There we go. There we go. We win. All right, hey YouTube. So let's get into the sideboard guide. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. It gives me information what I'm doing is correct. Also drop down some comments and suggestions or whatnot. If you play the deck in the comment section below, hit up that thumbs up like if you like the video. In the description of the video, you'll have the Stream Decker link. You'll have my Discord that I just started, that we'll be doing some fun brew stuff, playing against viewers, testing viewers' decks. We'll be doing that. It just started, so probably within the next couple of weeks, once we get people inside the Discord, we're gonna start doing what I'm gonna call it. It's called Meta Monday, Super Brew Tuesday, Viewer Choice Wednesday, probably Thursday against people in the Discord. So we'll play. It's not gonna be again like meta decks, I guess. We're gonna have some like fun brews. Everybody's gonna build a brew. If they want to test it against me or somebody else on Thursday, they could play that. We'll have that on Thursday. Friday, it's usually I play F&M, since my store allows F&Ms online, so we get the packs and promos and all that stuff. And then Saturday we'll probably have a mix of playing on the ladder, doing stuff with the the viewers, the people on Discord, and Sunday something like that as well. So we'll have a few days where we get to play with or interact with our viewers and people on Discord. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you want to join the Discord link is down below inside the description. But let's go ahead and get into the sideboard guide. So obviously you already saw the deck. So we've played against so far. So we're currently 9-1 with the deck. We've played against goblins, black Ugins, we've played Jund Sac, we've played against blue-white control, we've played against Sultai, we've played against Rakdos, Arcanist, so we've played against all the top end decks. We've beat them, we're 9-1. The only deck we lost to was what is it, the black-white auras deck, I believe, where they're just, you know, it's instead of blue-white auras, it's black-white auras. We lost to that just because they're obviously also drawing a lot of cards, and then they have access to like Thoughtseize and Duress and stuff like that. So let's go and get into the matches. So the first sideboard we're gonna bring is Sultai. Obviously, Sultai is a big one. It's all over the place. So against Sultai, what I like bringing in is 2 Aether Gust, 1 Negate, 3 Dovin's Veto, and sometimes I bring this in, sometimes I don't. Obviously, if you bring this in, you call out Nissa. So if you call out Nissa, you know, your Nissa is useless. So if you're going to bring this in, maybe cut 1 Nissa here, just because you don't want to have 2 in your hand when this is in play. But then again, you can also use Teferi to bounce it, so that way you can then cast your Nissa and do stuff with it. Or if you keep in Cleansing Nova, you could use Cleansing Nova's effect to destroy artifacts, cast your Nissa, and then you can do it. So be aware, if you do bring in Spyglass, either like cut 1 or leave them both in, but then you have to leave Cleansing Nova and use Teferi. So, but we bring in 2 Gust, Negate, 3 Vetoes, so that's 6 cards. What I don't like in this matchup, obviously, is Haze of Pollen. I cut all 4 of those. I cut 2 Wrath of Gods, and I also cut the Cleansing Nova, and I bring in 1 Yasharn, because Yasharn can block the Nissas, the Nissa and lands, and it grabs me 2 lands out of my deck. So it's a fairly good card. It prevents Nissa, so if you don't bring Spyglass, Yasharn's probably the way to go. That's the way I do it. So when I played the few Sultai decks, what I did was I cut 4 Haze of Pollens, 2 Wrath of Gods, 1 Cleansing Nova, so 4, 5, 6, 7, and I bring in 2 Gust, 1 Negate, that's 3, 3 Vetoes, 6, and 1 Yasharn. And the reason Aether Gust, obviously, it stops Uro, stops Growth Spiral, it stops Nissa, so obviously. And Negate, they're pretty much a spell deck minus Uro. They play nothing but spells except for Uro. So Negate is obviously a good spell, and which is the same thing for Veto. They're going to bring in Disdainful Strokes, Negates, Tails, and stuff like that. So your Negate can be countered by their Negate. Whereas when you bring in Dovin's Veto, it doesn't matter. It's uncounterable. So that's why I bring in Negate Vetoes, is because they're all spells except for Uro, and we have our own Uro, so we can do the same thing. And then Yasharn, like I said, it could block Nissa lands, so that's the reason why I bring in that. So that's Sultai. Now, if we're playing against Sacrifice, Jund Sacrifice, or I guess even maybe Red-Black Sacrifice, but the one that you're probably going to see the most is going to be Jund Sacrifice. Now, if we're playing against Jund Sacrifice, what I like bringing in, obviously, is the 2 Yasharns, Sorcerer Spyglass, Cleansing Nova, and the 2 Baffling Ends. That was kind of weird. So 2 Baffling Ends, Spyglass, that's 3, 2 Yasharns, that's 5, and 1 Cleansing Nova, that's 6. I cut the Pollens because they do both, so this prevents combat damage, and they do damage other ways than attacking. So they do damage with the, what is it, the 3/3 guy, the what is he called? The Mayhem Devil, I guess. Yeah. So Mayhem Devil does damage to us that way. Obviously the oven is life loss, life gain. The priest is life loss, life gain. So it doesn't very much do well there. So we cut 4 of those. We cut Dovin's Veto because it's a creature-based deck, with the exception of Witch's Oven, Chandra, you know, so that's 5. We cut that. I cut 1 Narset, that's 6. And I do cut one ECD because the curve is relatively low, and the only thing it can hit, obviously it can hit Midnight Reaper and the Devil, but the cards that you want to hit are like Cauldron Familiar, Cruxa, Priest, Scrap Heap, stuff like that. So you want to hit those kind of cards, you know, Witch's Oven. So this is not really doing much. So 4, 5, 6, 7. We bring in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're cutting. You can also bring in, I guess, 1 Aether Gust if you see a lot of Cruxas, but or keep in 1 Haze of Pollen. Yeah, so I would do that. So cut 3 Haze of Pollens, cut 1 Narset, so that's 4. Cut 1 ECD, that's 5, and cut 1 Dovin's Veto, that's 6 cards. Bring in 2 Baffling Ends, bring in Sorcerer's Spyglass, that's 3. Bring in 2 Yasharns, 4, 5, and Cleansing Nova, 6. So Baffling End obviously exiles their creatures. They play 3, every creature in their deck is 3 costs or less. So this hits everything. Sorcerer's Spyglass, you put this on Witch's Oven or I guess Chandra, but most of the time you're going to put this on Witch's Oven just so they can't do the cat combo against you. Since after game 1 they're going to see that you're a control deck, so the likelihood that they bring in a Braid is unlikely, but then they might think you're going to bring in Grafdigger's Cage against them or something, so they might bring in a Braid, which is perfectly good for us. If they bring in a Braid and we don't draw Spyglass, they have a Braid as a dead card in their hand. So we bring in Sorcerer's Spyglass, call out, you know, Witch's Oven, or if they have a Chandra in play, call out Chandra. Yasharn obviously very important. They can't sacrifice anything with this. It's a 4/4 body. It beats all their creatures. Their highest power goes up to a 3 unless they do an escape Woe Strider, it becomes a 5. So this can just halt them in their tracks. And then obviously Cleansing Nova is another board wipe, so having access to 4 board wipes after sideboards is good. So once again, we cut 3 Haze of Pollens, 1 Dovin's Veto, that's 4, 1 Narset, that's 5, and 1 ECD, that's 6. We bring in 2 Baffling Ends, 1 Sorcerer's Spyglass, that's 3, 2 Yasharns, 4, 5, and 1 Cleansing Nova. That's what we do against the Jund Sacrifice. Now, the next archetype that we're going to have a sideboard guide against too is Goblins. So this is where our deck shines the best, is against Goblins, just because of Haze of Pollen. They have no way to deal with Haze of Pollen against us, and then we have Root Snares in the sideboard. I just destroyed a Goblins deck. Literally 2-0, they couldn't do anything with Haze of Pollen. Alright, so against Goblins, what you want to do is you obviously cut Dovin's Veto. That's 1. I cut, what's it called? The 2 ECDs. That's 3. And I also cut, let's see. So we're bringing in 1, 2, 5, 6. So we bring in 6. So here we go. I cut 1 Growth Spiral, 1 Dovin's Veto, 2, 1 Krasis, 3. We cut 2 ECDs, 4, 5, and I also cut Approach because it's a high-end cost card. Yeah, it could win you the game, obviously fast, but you could win the game easily just with Teferi. So there's no point to keep it in the deck. You could keep it if you want, but you're already running 61 cards, so be careful. If you do end up, and I don't want to cut Narsets just because we're bringing in more Root Snares and Narset can hit that. So that's why I cut Approach rather than like a Narset. So once again, we cut 1 Growth Spiral, 1 Veto, that's 2, Krasis, that's 3, the ECDs, 4, 5, and Approach, which is 6. We bring in 2 Gusts, that's 2, 3 Root Snares, 5, and 1 Cleansing Nova, 6. Like I said, the Root Snares and the Haze of Pollens are going to crush Goblins. So this is where we shine the most. And this is the reason why I built this deck, because Goblins is obviously one, if not the most played deck with Sultai. And with Sultai, we have a pretty good matchup as well, just because we're running a bunch of PlanesWalkers. So, and then we have access to Earl just like them. Obviously, they have Thoughtseize. We don't, but we have Tameo to prevent Thoughtseize, hopefully, with it, you know. But yeah, so that's against Goblins. Let's see. I think there's only one more deck that you might see. Obviously, the blue-green engine deck, it's most likely you'll see it in a best of 1. And this is a best of 3 deck. you could take it to best of one, but I mean, I don't know. It's up to you. So this is more of a best of 3 deck. So I would not take this into best of one, but if you're a best of 1 player, this could easily just win in a best of 1 game too because of Haze Opponent approach. So the other deck that you probably will see, or may, because it's been declining, is blue-white control. Now, against blue-white control, it's pretty simple. You just take out the dead cards, the removal, bring in counter spells. So we have 1 negate here. We have 3 Dovin's Veto. I also bring in Sorcerer's Spyglass and the 2 Yasharns. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 cards. Cut the 4 Pollens. Cut the 2 Wrath of Gods, that's 6, and cut 1 of the Cleansing Novas, that's 7. It's a simple 7. So we bring in Yasharn because it can pressure to fairy. It draws us. It gets us a plains and a forest. It's a body that they have to deal with. They're gonna probably take out their Wrath of Gods and whatnot out of their sideboard. They're gonna take it out, and so Yasharn does well right there. Because now they're not expecting Yasharn. They have to deal with Yasharn. They have to deal with the Earl. They have to deal with Krasis. They have to deal with Nissa lands. So that's what we do against control. So we cut 4 Pollens. We cut 2 Wrath of Gods and Cleansing Nova. That's 7. We bring in 1 negate, 3 vetoes, Sorcerer's Spyglass, and 2 Yasharns. So Spyglass, obviously you call it to fairy. That's their win condition. You could also use this on their Castle Arendelle. But normally you just call out to fairy, and if you stop the fairy, obviously yours is useless, but you still have Nissa, Uro, Yasharn, Krasis, Castle. You still have that approach. You still have a lot of cards that's your win condition. So that's what I do against blue-white control. Like I said, that's the main. I mean, Gruul is pretty simple. If you're playing against Gruul, you bring in 2 Baffling Ends, 2 Gus. Bring in the root snares because they can't deal with the root snares, and Cleansing Nova. So 2, 4, 7, 8. You bring in like 8 cards against them. Against Gruul, you cut the veto. That's 1. I cut also 2 growth spirals. That's 3. I cut what's it called, 1 Narset. That's 4. I cut ECDs 5, 6. I cut approach, that's 7 cards right there. You're bringing in root snares and Cleansing Novas to board wipe, Baffling Ends to take care of their early interaction. Aether Gust stops that stuff. So that's against Gruul. I don't think you're going to really see much beyond that. I'll have in the video, I have decks that I played against that you might not see. You may see, I don't know, like Rakdos. You probably will see, maybe not. But I also played against like a Black Ugin deck, which is interesting. But yeah, so that's the sideboard guide against Sultai, blue-white, goblins, Jund Sacrifice, and Gruul. So those are the 5 decks you most likely see. Like I said, we don't really have too much against the engine deck because it's a best of 1 deck. You will see it probably fringe. I played about, I would say, overall testing a bunch of different decks in the last couple of days. I played maybe 30 matches in Historic and saw 1 engine deck. So you may see it, you may not. Not very good. It's obviously better in best of 1 than it is in best of 3. But yeah, so that's the sideboard guide against those 5 decks you'll see in Historic. But yeah, go ahead and give this deck a try if you have the cards. Let me know how it does. Let me know in the comments down below if you gave it a try, if you changed anything, you updated something, made it better. I would love to hear information about it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hopefully hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, thumbs up on the notification so that way you get to see when the deck is posted. But I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.